Train Effective fam, welcome back to another Train Effective podcast, another Train Effective mini podcast. I'm Hashir. Haven't spoken to you on about a week or so, and here we are. And you know what? It's almost 1 a.m. where I am, and I think it can be a bit difficult sometimes being in college and trying to film something audio when you live with other people. Um, but here we are. So today, I'm just gonna get straight into it. Yeah, straight into it. Three phrases that will transform your mentality. Um, and I think there's something here, guys and girls. I think there's something here that we've been building on, and we're building upon, and we're gonna keep building on, and that's like the mind and your mentalities and your psychology and staying mentally fit when you're pursuing football and when you're pursuing your goals and your dreams and all that stuff. And everybody in the chat, Delmonvir, Mr. Wayne, hello. I hope you guys are well. Um, I hope you're doing well. So, building on what I just said, I was watching a few things over the weekend about just some people on YouTube and these academies in England and Europe or whatever, and how players deal with getting released and when they don't get first team contracts and what an effect it has on them and all the pressure that they have, even like going through these academies. And I see a lot of messages sometimes about people saying, I want to join academy. Well, once you get to that level, you have to be one of the best there too to continue to progress. But even if you're not there, even if you're not in an academy, it's okay. You're still in charge of your own development and your own progress as a player, just as you are in charge of your progress in life and how you go about life. So, with that being said, I want to get into these three phrases that I think have helped me in the past and have probably helped people universally in whatever field they're in, and will definitely help you guys as well. So, the first one, yeah, this first frame, this first mindset, this first phrase I want you guys to take on is, I'm already a great player and I'm only getting better. Now, the great thing about this is it's coming from the assumption and the frame. A frame is just kind of a perspective. It's coming from the frame that you're already a great player. So you're already essentially assuming confidence. You're already assuming you're good at what you're doing. And that instantly, that shift in your mind, you're going to play better and you're going to be more confident on the pitch because you're affirming to yourself that you're already a good player and you're just getting better and better and better. You're not coming from this perspective of, you know what, once I do this, this, and this, then I'll be a good player. No, already there might be a little bit of fake it till you make it here, but that's okay. You're already a good player. You're only getting better. Yeah, it's such a healthy mindset to come from because you're not always down on yourself. You're not always beating yourself up. It's totally okay to wanting to improve and demanding a lot from yourself, but you also have to be a bit objective sometimes and seeing your development and be able to step back and not be too emotional and see the progress you've made, see the things you've done. Because a lot of you guys and girls that are listening have done a lot in the game. You might have done a lot and you might have improved a lot. You might have done a lot in the last, I don't know, few weeks, months, years. And you might have, that's a big one, you might have done a lot with your circumstance. Yeah, with your circumstances. So I want you to give yourself credit where credit's due. When we're trying to improve, when we're training, we're always so like tunnel vision on, oh, I need to improve this, I need to improve that, and I understand that. That's great. But don't sleep on the progress you've already made. So that's the first one. I'm already a great player and I'm only getting better. Now we're gonna move on to the next one. And this kind of builds upon that first statement. As long as I'm getting a little better each day, I'm making progress. Now, why this one? One of the universal like principles of happiness for anything is progress. If you think about it, most people, or even you've probably been the happiest with your football when you see progress, when you've implemented something in team training, and then it translates over to matches, and you're like, "Oh my god, that worked. Progress, progress." After the game, you might have been happy with their performance because the things you worked on in team training or individual training, they translated to the game. Progress, progress. As one of my mentors says, Tony Robbins says, progress is the game. Progress makes us happy. And sorry guys. So yeah, progress makes us happy. And then this way you're not going to get burned out on your football journeys, guys, because I think so much of training, it can get repetitive. It can even like actually get boring sometimes. Training can get redundant and very repetitive because you're working on basic things over and over and over and over. And you might not, I don't know, you might not have a match like every 2, 3 days. But as long as you are making progress, you will be in good spirits. So as long as I'm getting a little better each day, I'm making progress. A really healthy frame and perspective to take on. Tom Brady, NFL quarterback, has won like 6, 7 Super Bowls, something crazy. He has a very famous commercial, I think in the U.S., where he's like just taking reps of throwing the football, the American football, and he's just saying, just getting a little bit better, just getting a little bit better, just getting a little bit better. And this guy's elite. Yeah, he's elite. He's like 45 right now, 44 playing in the league and might win the Super Bowl again, the NFL Super Bowl again this year. So it's a good thing to maybe take that frame from him as well. His thing is just trying to get a little bit better each day, and it's carried him for 20 plus years, along with many other things. But I guarantee you, his mindset, his mentality is a big, big reason why he is who he is, and he's accomplished the things he's accomplished because he wasn't the highest pick in the NFL draft. He wasn't the most sought out player in America for the NFL. And you guys will like this. They have an NFL draft where they pick players from college that get to go to the NFL, the highest league of American football in America. And the best players always go in the first round. Yeah, every team picks in the first round. And then there's a second round. There's a third round. There's a fourth round, fifth round. I think he didn't get picked. He didn't get picked until like round 6. Yeah. Every team in the entire league passed on Tom Brady at least five times. And now he has more Super Bowl championships, Super Bowl wins than half of like most of those teams combined on his own, which is amazing. So he was never that top player, had everything handed to him from the beginning. No, he had to work for it, and his mentality is absolutely elite. And even the people in America that maybe aren't fans of his old team, the Patriots, or his new team, the Buccaneers, or Tom Brady himself, maybe they're just quote unquote haters. I think there is a universal respect for his greatness because when Tom Brady gets the ball at the end of the game, he's going to win the game. 90% of the time, he's going to win the game. And it's just amazing to see. And there's a lot of things we can take from his mentality that do translate over to our football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. So as long as I'm getting a little bit better each day, I'm making progress. That's the second frame. The third one, and this is a massive one. I really need you all to listen closely. We're going to have a little discussion right now about this, okay? The third one is I'm not defined by my performances. I'm defined by who I am. And that is absolutely, I can't tell you how massive that is because so many young players, even old players, we have a bad game and I've been in your shoes. This is what I'm saying. I've been in your shoes. We have a bad game. We train all week for it individually, team training. We're watching ROM 7000 or like all these YouTubers, all YouTube highlights on YouTube all week, and we have a bad game at the weekend, and then we're just destroyed. We're just destroyed. We're so upset. We're so distraught. We're like, can't believe that happened. Um, had such a bad game, everything sucks, blah 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 blah, and you just beat yourself down and down and down and down, and it's really unhealthy. Yeah, it's really unhealthy overall. It's really unhealthy for your mind. It's really unhealthy in general because you have to. Again, I talk about perspective, and I talk about remaining objective. You have to be able to step back and look at your performance, and maybe look at the team performance, and look at it objectively. Were you as bad as you really say you were? Does your on-field performance affect who you are off the pitch? It shouldn't. It really shouldn't, because who you are as a person will always matter way more than who you are as a footballer. And if you let like bad performances on the pitch, or a bad performance on the pitch, affect you negatively in your personal life, and you lash out at people, or you're just not happy and all these things, that's when your whole identity begins to be shaped around how good or how not good you played on Sunday. And this is why it's unhealthy, because sometimes it can be out of your control. If you're playing against a team that's way better than you, and your coach tells you and the whole team, guys, we're going to sit back and defend and play on the counter the whole game. Yeah, we're going to park the bus. And that match, you don't touch the ball at all. You maybe get like 5 to 10 touches. And when you do get the ball, the other team presses and you lose the ball. And then after the game, you're like, oh, I played so bad, blah, 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 blah. You have to understand your team's tactics and the other team's quality and all these things. It's not making excuses. It's not making excuses, but you have to be able to step back and look at the whole performance rather than blaming yourself too hard for things that weren't even in your control. Yeah, that's why I say always, maybe before matches, have goals for things that are in your control, such as communication, scanning, uh, talking positively to your teammates. Another big one is calibrating to your teammates. Maybe Jake, your right back, when you do criticize him or say, "Come on, Jake, step it up," he responds well to that. Good. You know how to communicate with Jake. But maybe Ryan, who's a striker, or maybe he's a central midfielder, maybe he doesn't respond well to that criticism. Maybe he needs a, come on, Ryan, hey, next one, don't worry. Next one, you got this, don't worry. Next play. Maybe he responds better to that. And those things are in your control. That communication is in your control. Focus on things like that during the game, and you'll do much, much better. Hi, Kiko. Um, saying hi to people in the chat for Spotify listeners. But see, guys, these are things that you can focus on that are in your control. And I'm not defined by my performances. I'm defined by who I am. Who you are is more important than what you do. Yeah, that'll always be true. And that's one of the big things at Train Effective. It's like, yes, we want you to become the best footballer you can become. Yeah. I can't stress that enough. Like, we totally want that. But an even bigger takeaway is that, and this is big if you come to the camps, is that you learn life lessons and life skills, and you're a good person, and you can manage your mind, and you can uplift people around you, and you can get the best out of your teammates, stuff like that. That's even more valuable. Yeah. The things I said about communication, guys and girls, that's captain stuff. Yeah, that's where you get into that stage of where your coach is looking at you like, okay, that's captain material. When they say captain material, that's where you get into that. And that's why I say I'm not defined by my performance, and I'm defined by who I am. Many times in many teams, you'll see like, oh, this player, he's not even the best. Why is he the captain? Because he can get the best out of the players around him, or he can uplift the people around him. That makes sense. Cool. So you have those 3 phrases. What I would recommend is either pick 1, pick 2, even pick 3. I suggest starting out with 1 and really do affirmations. And there's definitely a police or ambulance like nearby, so if you hear that, guys, disregard. College town. But what I would say is take one of these phrases and start affirming it every day. Maybe write it down in your phone 10 times today, or write it down on pen and paper 10 times today, or say it out loud. Because I guarantee you, and I need some action on your guys' part. Yeah, I try to make things as easy as possible, but I need some action on your end. I need some action. If you implement that, if you start affirming these, you will see a difference, yeah, in your game, or in how you're thinking, in your mentality. You will see a difference, because that is one of the ways we can start to shift or change our identities, is affirming things, reaffirming things, making ourselves believe certain things. It's like it's the story we're telling ourselves. You know, if you think about it, the difference between people, like maybe the most confident players and least confident players, is oftentimes the story they're telling themselves. What's the story you're going to tell yourself? Are you going to tell yourself that you're already a great player and you're only getting better each day? Or are you going to tell yourself you're not that great of a player and you're going to train and get better? Which one do you think is the better frame to take on, the better perspective to take on? Assuming you're already a good player and you're getting better, or assuming you're not good, but you'll train and get better? I would say the frame of I'm already a great player and I'm getting better, because then when you're on the pitch, you're not going to be intimidated. You're not going to be scared. You're going to be like, I'm just like everybody else, if not better. Yeah. Healthy frames to take on. Now that's all I have for you all. I think there is something here really important, and that's not talked enough. That's not talked about enough in the football world, with the football training and all that stuff. And I really want to break through it. Yeah. So, guys, in the comments below on YouTube, let me know your thoughts and let me know what other things, psychology, mentality wise, that you'd like for us to speak on and go deeper on. Spotify listeners, thank you so much for listening. YouTube listeners, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe down below. Follow us on TikTok at Train Effective. Links in the description. It's clickable. If you need somebody to speak to about footy or just anything in general, DM's always open. Follow me on Instagram at Hashir Khan. It's on the screen or in the links below, in the descriptions below. And as always, guys, take care of your mentals. I'm so proud of you all the progress you're making. Trust me, if you're training daily, day in, day out, you're listening to this, I guarantee you, you're making progress. Yeah, you're doing well, you're making progress. You might not see it every day, but trust me, that 1% or that half percent every day, every day, every day, every day, it compounds steps. It's just steps. It's just steps. And I'm so proud of you for that. Keep it up. And of course, you know how we do it here. Stay effective.